In this video we want to talk about how to apportion fixed costs to various departments within a business. So what we have to do is try to imagine there are fixed costs and we need to work out which department within the business should bear the brunt of these costs, which department should pay more and which should pay less, and what's the basis for those calculations. We call this apportionment. So let's just imagine a business with the following figures. We have areas occupied, and the areas occupied are occupied in various departments. Machining, for example, in this case has got 24,000 square feet or square meters or whatever it is. Assembly has got 36,000, finishing has got 16, and stores has got 4. So the total area occupied is 80,000. Well, in fact, there may be offices and other departments, but just to keep it simple, this is our example. So we have, in this case, we have 4 departments, and these departments are have a combined area of 80,000. Now, there's also plant and equipment and number of employees in the different departments, direct labour, indirect wages, maintenance, and so on. So different departments have different commitments to these various costs. And what we need to do is to figure out how to apportion fixed costs to these various departments. There are other costs that should be taken into account as well. For example, rent, business rates, insurance on buildings, lighting and heating, depreciation on plant and equipment. There are all sorts of costs that need to be taken into account and need to be apportioned to see which department should have to pay for these and what proportion of the cost should be borne by different departments. So we have in our example here 4 departments: machining, assembly, finishing, and stores. We have the area occupied, let's say, as 24, 36, 16 and 4,000 respectively, and given us a total of 80,000 square feet. Now the rent for the business, let's say, is £2,000 per year or per week or whatever it is. So it's £2,000, and we need to work out which department should pay more of this bill and which should pay less, and what's the basis. So we need a basis for apportionment, and the basis for the apportionment in this case is the area occupied. Now we could use different bases for apportionment, but just in our example here we'll take area occupied. We'll give an example later of a different basis for apportionment, but for the moment we'll take area occupied. Now let's say the rent. Well, the rent comes to 2,000. Now if we're going to use the area as the basis for the apportionment, then we have a total of 80,000. So the rent on the premises is 2,000, and that is 2,000 for 80,000. Out of this 80,000, machining takes 24,000. So machining should bear the proportion 24 divided by 80, which is 0.3. Now 0.3 of 2,000 is 600. So machining should pay £600 towards the 2,000 cost, in the rent. Assembly has 36,000, so it should bear 36 as a proportion of 80, which is 0.45. 0.45 times 2,000 is 900. So assembly should pay £900 towards the 2,000. Machining should pay £600. Finishing should pay 400, and the stores should pay 100. And if we add it all up, it comes to 2,000. So what we've done is we've apportioned the rent according to the usage in the different departments. So if we look at it, there are 80,000 square feet, 24,000 is taken up by machinery, therefore they should pay 24 over 80 times 2,000. 24,000 over 80,000 is 0.3 times 2,000, which is 600. So machining is responsible for £600 of the rent, and that's what they should bear. So we've apportioned it on the basis of area. Now if you look at the the different fixed costs, the ones that are mentioned earlier, I think it was back here, we have 600, 200, 400 and so on. Now we can apportion that £600 business rates on the basis of area. So 24,000 divided by 80,000 times 600 for business rates is 180. So machining should pay 180 of the 600 for business rates. Likewise, it should pay 60 for insurance on buildings. So we're apportioning the costs according to the usage. In this case, the usage in terms of square feet taken up by that particular department. So if you take any one of these, how it's calculated is, in this case, it's 200. Well, the finishing involves this. By the way, I've changed the apportionment here to the number of employees. It can be done on area, number of employees. It can be done in several different ways. Providing you're consistent and pick the basis for apportionment and be consistent, then that's okay. So in this case, let's take the employees. There's 1,420 employees. No, it's, where is it? Sorry. Yeah, there. I've highlighted it. I'll put the cursor on. Here's the number of employees. And so machining has 400, assembly 800, finishing 200, stores 20, total 1,420. Now we could use that for the basis of apportionment. This is the area one we've been using. Well, we could use this one. So there are different ways of apportioning it. So if we go down here to the last one, now we've got number of employees. Well, in this case, it's 200 divided by 1,420. That's the total number of employees. 200 divided by that is 0.14. 0.14 times 400 is 56. So on the basis of number of employees, if that's the basis of the apportionment, then the heating and lighting bill for 400, £56 should be paid by finishing. For the heating and lighting bill, the assembly should pay 225, the machining 113, stores should pay 6, total 400. But here, the basis for the apportionment is the number of employees. Previously we took area. It depends. Depends on what the management consider to be most appropriate as the basis for apportionment. But these bills have to be allocated to different departments because the costs of these bills should be borne by the different departments. And this is how the bills are allocated. This is how the costs are allocated. So the costs of the different departments have to include their contribution towards these particular bills. The rent has to be paid. And how it's apportioned is a management decision. It could be done on the basis of employees, the area. It can be done on many different bases. But we've just picked two to illustrate it here. So that's the basis for apportionment. That's how costs may be apportioned. Let's leave it at that and say thank you for watching.